Hey guys, my name is Matsumo, and a few days ago we learned that Ubisoft has some pretty big things in store for Rainbow Six Siege. At the Paris Majors, according to fellow YouTuber Bikini, it looks like Ubisoft is going to be making some pretty significant changes to the game. The first big one is that Tachanka is finally getting a rework. Now this isn't just going to be a small tweak to his gadget or giving him simply a brand new gadget. They're going to be reworking him from the ground up. According to this summary, his looks, his personality, his backstory, and his gadget are all going to be getting a rework. Basically, we're getting a new operator. Now, the reason why this is occurring, and it should be very obvious, is because Tachanka is the weakest operator in Rainbow Six Siege, and he has been for the longest time. Ubisoft even admitted that he doesn't make sense in Rainbow Six Siege. His entire design doesn't actually fit the way that the game plays, and this makes sense. When the game first released, Ubisoft also admitted that they weren't really sure where this game was going to go or how the meta was going to develop. They even said that they didn't expect the one-shot headshot mechanic to be as predominant as it is, and that wasn't going to be the main focus of the game. And so if we look at it from that viewpoint, it makes sense why Tachanka is the way that he is. 3 armor, he's able to absorb a lot of shots, he has a powerful weapon, so he's able to lock down long corridors, and so if you eliminate the headshot from the equation, yeah, he could be decent. In reality though, as we all soon discovered, being stationary puts you at a massive disadvantage, especially since offense has access to drones and can figure out your exact position and capitalize on that information. And so it's because of all of these reasons why Tachanka is getting a massive rework. What I was not expecting, though, was that every part of him was going to be getting changed. I would have assumed that they were going to make him still look like Tachanka. He was still going to keep the same art. He was still going to have the same backstory. They were just going to change his gadgets. According to the summary, though, that's not the case. Now, we do need to take it with a little bit of grain of salt. I don't think he's lying, but nothing has been officially confirmed by Ubisoft. So we are taking the word of a YouTuber. We don't have an official source on the part of Ubisoft, so things could fall through, things could be changing. But I was just thinking they weren't gonna go in and basically give us a brand new operator. And so one part of me is really excited because this means hopefully when they do go on in and adjust his gadget, that we're finally going to get another operator on defense that actually is going to impact the game in a meaningful way. For the longest time, that hasn't been the case. No one plays as Tachanka. He's basically a non-factor anymore, and it'd be nice to have another option for defense. On the other hand, though, while I want him to still get changed, I still want him to actually look and feel like Tachanka. He's become a part of the game. While yes, he is a joke, he still makes up one of the more unique characters, and to basically just change him entirely from the ground up, I know is going to leave a lot of people disappointed. All in all, though, I am very excited about this news because it's been a long time coming, and I think Tachanka finally deserves to be in a place where he has some impact on the game. I know that some people are not going to be thrilled by this because they really love the Tachanka that he is right now, but I really do believe that this is something that is necessary, and I'm glad to see that they're finally making some progress. Another change I know many people are going to be excited about is that it looks like Ubisoft is considering adding in the pick ban system into rank. Currently, it's only available to the Pro League, but the way that it works is that at the beginning of a game, each team is able to pick and ban certain operators. So let's say, for example, your team struggles against a particular operator. You hate fighting against Blackbeard. Well, instead of giving the enemy that advantage, let's say they're really good with that character, you can just ban him outright. Let's say you think that Mira is too impactful on a certain match and it gives defense too much of an advantage. Well, you can just ban her outright from that pool of selection. Now, you yourself are not going to be able to play as those characters as well. It's not just for the other team, but it does add in a different layer and different tactics and strategy that currently isn't available to the ranked pool. Personally, I think this will be one of the more interesting changes if it does go through for ranked in a very long time. Being able to actually choose which operators are available and which ones aren't is going to have a dramatic impact on the way that we play on certain objectives and on certain maps. Like I said, Mira is really powerful. You eliminate her from the pool, some objectives are now going to be less and more viable because of that. Let's say they introduce a brand new operator that's completely busted and overpowered. Well, instead of waiting months for them to fix that operator, you just ban them outright, so now you don't have to worry about that anymore. Giving that control to the player base, I think, will be a nice addition to the game. One thing I'm not entirely sold on, though, is that they're also considering adding in the new offense and defense rotation of the Pro League. The way that this system works is that each team plays on one side 5 times, and then they switch on over to the other. So let's say, for example, you're on a heavily defensive map. You will basically play 5 times on defense, win or lose, doesn't matter. You play 5 rounds, and then after that, you'll switch on over to the offensive team. I believe if you won those 5 rounds, you only need to win 1 more on the offensive side to be able to secure the victory. And so the reason why I'm sort of skeptical about this is, first of all, I sort of like the system that we have in place right now. It's not perfect, but I enjoy it. And also because I feel like this will give some teams an advantage depending on the map that they're playing on. Like I just said, if you're on defense and you're on a defensive favored map, if you win all 5 matches, you only need to win 1 more on offense. Now I know that some people will argue that it might be challenging to get that single victory because now you're on offense on a defensive favored map, but you also remember that there is a psychological component that goes into these competitive games. If your entire team just lost 5 times in a row and you're with a bunch of randoms, they may feel defeated once they switch on over to the other side. It doesn't matter that you know that you have the advantage if your entire team has already given up because you lost over and over and over again. You basically just lost the game because of that. Now I realize I am cherry picking here because most maps are well balanced for each side, and you're probably not going to have a lot of situations where one side 5-0s the other team, but it will happen, and I'm just kind of trying to describe why I'm not entirely sold on this new system. And so let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think that adding in this new dynamic will be a good thing for Rainbow Six Siege? Do you like the current system and the way that it works right now? Give me your guys' thoughts down below and the reasons why. Another thing that they're working on, which I was not expecting whatsoever, but have been hoping they would eventually introduce into Rainbow Six Siege, is it seems that they're going to be trying to add in a theater replay or cinematic mode available to everyone. Now I expect that this isn't going to come anytime soon. I can only imagine this is going to take them a long time for them to implement something like this, but if they're able to do this successfully, this is going to be a game changer. The amount of uses and applications that this would provide to the players is staggering. If you want to make cool montages with different camera angles, this will now be possible. You want to just go back and watch a game where you did really well, or let's say you want to figure out what you did wrong, you're going to have that ability at your fingertips. You think someone on the enemy team is cheating, well, just go watch their viewpoint for a while and then figure it out and then make the appropriate choice. And so all in all, I don't want to get people's hopes up because once again, we are hearing this secondhand. We haven't had an official response from Ubisoft. If this actually is something that they're working on, I cannot wait because I really do think it's going to be one of the more significant improvements that they could ever make to this game. Now, one small change that Ubisoft is working on is that they're implementing an on-off switch for operators and gadgets that can be utilized if there is a really bad problem with said gadget or operator. If you guys have been playing the game for a while, you probably remember a long time ago, the deployable shield was used to get into positions that Ubisoft really didn't intend you to get into. Probably one of the best examples of this was down in the basement on Consulate and getting literally into the white van. You could see everyone on the outside, you could take shots at them, but they couldn't take any shots at you because it was a van. It was a massive bug, it caused a lot of problems, and even to this day we have those issues with the one on Oregon down below in the basement when you're trying to get into the washing machine. These bugs and issues pop up every once in a while, and so if there's anything really serious or game-breaking about them, they'll then have the ability to turn them on and off. Not a major difference, because hopefully this won't happen, but if anything does arise, they will have the ability to solve that problem very, very quickly. And then finally, it also looks like Lion is going to be getting a rework. Lion has been difficult for Ubisoft to balance ever since he was introduced, just mainly because of his very design. If you give someone the ability to keep everyone on the defensive team to stand in one place for an extended period of time, and then if they do move, give everyone on offense a massive advantage against those players, you're gonna have a hard time balancing that out. Of course, he did see some nerfs. He now only is able to use them twice instead of 3 times. Like, there are some changes here, but even still, according to this little summary, he is limiting the potential of new operators, and so that's why he's gonna be seeing some changes. Now, I doubt he's gonna be getting a rework the same way that Tachanka is. I don't think that they're going to redesign him from the ground up. He's still gonna be Lion, but I would imagine that he's not gonna have the same gadget. It might have a similar feel, but it's not gonna function in the very same way. Only time will tell, but that would be my guess. Yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. These are some significant changes coming to Rainbow Six Siege, and for the most part, I'm loving the direction that Ubisoft is going with every single one of them. And so let me know what you guys thought about this. Do you like what they're doing with the game? Do you think that these are going to be great improvements? Are you a little disappointed with the way that they're handling things? Let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, guys, I thought this would be an interesting topic to talk about, so I hope you guys enjoyed. But until tomorrow, have a good one, and take it easy.